Welcome to the death of the corporation. Explore DAOs, agent networks, and the fluid enterprise. This is the future of business.
Welcome to the XFO Intelligence Podcast. You're listening to a brand new XFO-Connect Special Series. Today, we're exploring a seismic shift in the global economy, the death of the corporation, and the rise of DAOs, agent networks, and the fluid enterprise. For nearly 2 centuries, the corporation has been the default machine for human coordination. But it wasn't built because humans love hierarchy. It was built because coordinating through the open market was simply too expensive. Finding talent, negotiating contracts, and enforcing agreements carried massive friction. The corporation was a legal container that lowered those transaction costs. But today, that cost is collapsing. Artificial intelligence, smart contracts, and programmable money have made it possible for humans and machines to discover, negotiate, and transact with near zero institutional friction. When the cost of open market coordination drops below the cost of maintaining a hierarchy, the boundary of the firm dissolves. This brings us to the fluid enterprise. First, we saw DAOs, decentralized autonomous organizations. They proved we could pool capital and govern collectively without a headquarters. But early DAOs were slow. They lacked autonomous execution. Now, enter AI agents. When you equip autonomous AI with crypto wallets and smart contracts, they become economic actors. They don't just vote, they execute. They hire other agents, allocate treasury funds, and verify outcomes. The organization is no longer a bounded container with permanent employees. It is a temporary routing protocol. Humans define the intent, AI agents execute the work, and smart contracts distribute the value the millisecond the outcome is verified. The company becomes a verb, not a noun. But this transition carries a profound warning. The problem isn't that coordination is becoming too powerful. The problem is that accountability hasn't kept pace. When a fluid enterprise dissolves after a project, who is liable if an AI agent causes harm? You cannot sue an algorithm. You cannot put a decentralized swarm in prison. The real scarcity of the 21st century isn't coordination, it's trust. Trust must shift from an institutional heuristic, like a brand logo or a corporate charter, to mathematical infrastructure. We need verifiable agent identity, cryptographic collateral, and algorithmic circuit breakers. If we don't build this accountability layer, the fluid enterprise will just be a high-speed engine for externalizing harm. We are heading toward one of 2 futures. The first is the open fluid enterprise, a world of interoperable standards, auditable agents, and broad value distribution. The second is the captured agent economy, a neo-feudal system where the network looks decentralized, but a few tech monopolies control the underlying AI models, wallets, and identity layers. The difference between these futures isn't technology, it's institutional design. The corporation is dying as the default vessel of human cooperation. What replaces it will determine whether the next economy is an open ecosystem of shared abundance or an opaque machine of concentrated control. That's all for this episode of the XFO-Connect Special Series. If this deep dive expanded your perspective, please like, share, and subscribe to the XFO Intelligence Podcast channel. We also invite you to join the exclusive XFO-Connect community to collaborate with other forward thinkers navigating this transition. To get registration details, simply send an email to xfointelligence@gmail.com. We look forward to seeing you inside. Disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed on the XFO Intelligence podcast are for informational and educational purposes only and do not constitute financial, legal, or investment advice. Always conduct your own research before making any strategic or financial decisions.